about this. This is Coloring Mental Health, right?
Correct.
The symposium today. Tell us how important it is, and tell us a little bit about how it got started.
There was something that was missing in the discourse, and so we saw that we had a niche to be able to engage folks around the issues of Black mental health. So that's a little bit of how we got started.
Okay, and now your role in all of this.
Right, so it's a little bit tricky in the sense that I'm actually a professor at Claremont School of Theology in Claremont, California. And so I actually started this as I was still here in Chicago, but then when I got the job at Claremont, I found that this was still something that I wanted to engage. So we've got a team of 4 folk, and we normally connect every other week to have discussions around how to move the project forward.
Okay, so now the symposium, how's the turnout?
Yeah, so last night, I want to say we had about 200 plus folks for the concert. It was a great evening of jazz, neo soul, gospel. We had some of the best artists in the city, as well as those who attended from Atlanta, some folks from different parts of the country, right? So it was really cool to have that top-notch talent. So one thing that we said that we do is to creatively engage the issues that we're talking about, right?
There's definitely a need, what you found, and is that surprising to you that there's this need?
Well, it is and it's not. And I say it's not because as I was doing my PhD coursework in clinical training, I found that all these theories we're reading about psychology and how to care for folk, I want to see stuff around just the common everyday Black person as case studies and things that we would study about what it means to be mentally well. So from that perspective, it was not a surprise at all, just because I had studied so much and saw that there was a big gap in the literature. So from that perspective, I think that was right on with my particular research. But the thing that I think was surprising was to see that at our first run, we had such a good turnout from folks from different professions. And also last year, we actually had a very good mix of Black folk, folks of Asian descent, Hispanics, white folks who were part of the conversation. So at that point, we knew that we had something, and we wanted to make sure that we continued that work.
Okay, so you definitely, what are the next steps after the symposium? And you do have a health fair here too as well, right?
Correct, so the health fair is actually a part of Third Baptist Church of Chicago. Now, one of the things that we talked about from last year is that we felt like evaluation was very important. Right? So you don't want to just do something and not get feedback from doing it. And so there were at least 2 things that we saw from last year, from the feedback from last year that we could improve upon. So one was to engage youth. And so, you see that youth are here this time. That's right. And they have this type of intergenerational dialogue and their own breakout sessions.
Exactly.
So that was one of the feedbacks that we wanted to do something about. The second one had to do with making sure that we had time to reflect on the things that we talked about, right? So last year, we had a lot of sessions that were powerful, but folks didn't have a chance to really talk about it. So that's why you saw just now we had breakout sessions.
Right, I thought that was excellent.
Yeah, and seeing how folks just poured out their energy around that.
Yeah, they're ready and open to talk about these issues.
Exactly.
What are some of the main issues?
Yeah, I really think a lot of it is around not having the space to be able to talk through these issues. And so one of the things that we're very intentional about here is to create this safe space so folks can begin to process that anger, right? Sometimes I'm mad as all get out, and I need to make sure I got the space to be able to process that.
Exactly.
One of the things that we know from the research in Black psychology, and especially for Black men, is that Black men tend to have issues or challenges in processing anger, right? Okay. And so that's why for us, we see the need to have safe spaces very important so that folks can begin to process the anger that they experience.
Okay. Well, I thank you for inviting us, ChiSoulFul Media, and I'm enjoying the experience. I think there's a lot of good information, and I think the take-homes are going to be excellent for those people who are going to be able to use this information. Okay, so thank you for joining us. We are ChiSoulFul Media. My name is Dr. Deleshia Kinney. We are capturing the soul of the city.